Hi everyone, it's Gina and I'm back with day 8 of the Lupus and Chronic Illness Awareness Challenge. Now today's prompt is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So, where do I see myself in 5 years? There is potentially so much that can happen between today and 5 years from now. So, this video is going to be a little bit about predicting the future, planning for the future, and a whole lot of hope. Now, if I base the future on what has happened over the last few years, my outlook on the future is going to be pretty dismal. Although I did have some really great moments in the last couple of years. Now, on to my 5-year outlook. First of all, I am really hoping that I'm still here. About 21 years ago, I flatlined on the operating table during major surgery. And all of my doctors really worked hard to get my heart restarted. Several of the doctors had called time of death because they'd been working on me for quite a while. But the head surgeon refused to call time of death because he had just delivered my daughter just 2 weeks prior. So he knew that I had a 2-week-old child and a 2-year-old child at home that desperately needed their mama. However, he had gotten to the point where he was about to call time of death when all of a sudden my heart started to beat again. And he told me several days later, when we finally had a chance to talk about everything that happened, he said, somebody up there must love you because you are not supposed to be here right now. And I told him about, the near-death experience that I had walking through the tunnel and all of that stuff. And he said, well, you're supposed to be here for a reason. Obviously, you've been given a second chance and you need to make sure that you use it well. Now, 5 years ago, I collapsed in an herbal store when I went to get some natural remedies because I woke up feeling really ill that morning, and it turns out that the two medications that I had been put on had kind of clashed really with each other. So by the time I got to the hospital, I was on the verge of cardiac arrest. And again, my doctors were a little bit surprised that I wasn't actually in full-blown cardiac arrest because of the speed that my heart was beating. So again, I figured there must be a reason that I'm here. So I'm really hoping that 5 years from now, I'm still going to be here. I actually just celebrated my 48th birthday 4 days ago. And I feel very blessed that I'm still here because my father, he dropped dead at the age of 45 from a massive heart attack. Now, shortly after the collapse in the herbal store, and I started to use a few natural remedies, I decided to study and train to become a certified herbalist, which I did. So 5 years from now, I am hoping to have become a master herbalist. So that is definitely one of the goals that I hope to have achieved by the time 5 years comes around. I hope to be still painting within the next 5 years. And one of my goals is to have my artwork displayed in a major gallery in New York as well as in California. I recently had the chance to create a movie poster for a film that is going to be coming out hopefully by the end of this year or early next year. And that was definitely something I hadn't really planned on, but when the opportunity arose, I jumped at the chance. I also use painting as a way of coping with chronic illness and healing myself from chronic illness. I fully believe that art therapy is a very useful tool when healing from some kind of chronic illness. I want to still be designing in 5 years, and I'm hoping to see my clothing and accessory line in some major department store. I'm hoping to still be writing in 5 years as well. And today I published my first book of poetry. This is actually my second book that I've published. My first one was just a small book about some natural remedies that I've used to help to heal myself from chronic illness. And this is the first book of poetry that I've actually written. And this came about because of a challenge that I set for myself in April of this year, 2017. And once that was completed, then I put all of the poems together that I wrote during National Poetry Month in April. And I created a book, and that actually went into paperback as well as Kindle form today. So I'm very proud of that achievement. I'm also currently working on my second book of poetry, as well as an inspirational book in which I use my painting to inspire others to help to cope with chronic illness. Since this year began, I set a goal that I would be writing one article per month. And so far, I have achieved that goal. So over the next year, I hope to continue with that goal, but also to continue writing and publishing books, as well as creating more paintings for that wonderful art show that I'm going to be having in New York, as well as in California, and in any other grand gallery where the opportunity will arise. In 5 years from now, I hope to be a much healthier me, because with all of the research that I'm going to be doing, I'm really hoping that I find a lot more remedies, natural remedies, that will continue to heal my body, continue to help me to feel better, to help with all of the joint pain that I experience on a daily basis, because I have a lot of plans, as you can tell, and I have major plans in enjoying life a lot more by traveling the world with my family, and just simply to have fun more. And although I've done a lot of traveling, there's always something new to see. And I've had several countries on my bucket list for as long as I can remember. So I have every intention of seeing those countries before my time is up on this earth. Yes, I understand nobody really knows when their time is up, but I definitely do plan in the very near future to go and see the countries that are on my bucket list, and taking my children along. You know, it's always fun whenever you can expose the younger ones to different parts of the world, because I think it makes them a much more rounded individual. Now, one of the things that I hope to have accomplished within the next 5 years is going to sound like a huge deal to some, but not necessarily a huge deal to others. But I've been thinking lately, I would love to be able to give one of those TED Talks. Yes, I dream big. Um, and I'm not really sure how to get in touch with the people who conduct these, but believe me when I say I've been doing my research. And that's one of the things I would like to have accomplished within the next 5 years, is actually giving a TED Talk. One of the other things I'd like to hopefully still be doing in 5 years is martial arts. It's been a challenge in recent months to be able to train, but I haven't given up on it. So hopefully within the next few months I'll be able to start training again. But within the next 5 years, I hope to have continued, maybe even picking up another form like Tai Chi, which I've done before, I've done some MMA in the past. I think I'm a little too old for the MMA right now. But definitely I would hope to still be doing martial arts within the next 5 years. And last, but by no means least, and probably the most important, is in 5 years, I hope I still have all of the energy that's required for me to accomplish all of these huge goals that I hope, to see myself doing between now and the next 5 years. So share with me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Yes, chronic illness can kind of put a damper on things, but you should never let chronic illness dictate to you what your life is going to be, at least not in its entirety. It definitely changes things because I know that 5 years ago, the life I had planned looks completely different from what I am experiencing now. However, I was able to achieve things today that I never thought that I would have been able to do had I not had to quit my job. There are things that I achieved or opportunities that came along simply because I was not working at the job that I had before. But these opportunities are things that I never ever would have dreamed of doing. For example, designing. Even though I set a goal, 15 years ago, I had kind of put that on the back burner, put that completely out of my mind until the opportunity arose in a wonderful email that I received. And now here I am with a clothing and accessory line and the opportunity to help to create a poster for a movie. That is something I never would have thought would have occurred in the last 5 years, but they did. So now, yes, I do dream big because I realize that unless you dream big, you're just kind of limiting yourself. So dream big, set those goals, and work to achieve them. It'll be a challenge at times, but it can be done. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I really appreciate you being there. If you would like to take part in this challenge, it did start 8 days ago, but it is never too late. I will go ahead and I will post the link below, and you can start at any point that you wish between the first day and the 8th day, or you want to start tomorrow, and then you can easily catch up. But this is not just limited to Lupus Awareness Month. This challenge can be done throughout any month that you so desire. I am just choosing to do it during Lupus Awareness Month. If you're not a subscriber, I would really appreciate it if you would just click the subscribe button. If you've learned something from this video, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video come tomorrow. Thank you.